Welcome to the Dr. Dare Show. My name is Dr. Frederick Dare. I am a therapist here in Atlanta, Georgia, and welcome to my channel. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, you subscribe, like this video, share, and click the little bell at the bottom of the screen so that you will get updates of when I upload new content. We used to cover hot topics or mental health issues. Today is no different. Today we're asking what happened to Kendrick Lee and his siblings. A mother's abandonment. What happened to Kendrick Lee and his siblings? A mother's abandonment. So let me get started on the story. It took place in Houston, Texas. Mother is Gloria Williams, age 35. Boyfriend is Brian Coulter, age 31. Brian is not the father of these kids, just to put that out there. So there are a lot of siblings here. There's Kendrick Lee, who was age 7 at the time that this incident happened. Jordan Lee, age 15. Trevon Lee, age 10. And Javion, age 7. So all of these individuals lived in one household. So around November 20th through November 29th, allegedly, Brian was abusing these children and this family, probably. And allegedly, between this time period, Brian kicked and abused and pummeled Kendrick Lee, who was only 7 years old. This little boy was being beaten by this grown man, and it resulted in his death. Rest in peace, Kendrick, and I'm sending prayers out to the siblings and the families. Make sure that the children get help, because this is a traumatic experience. So let me give you the rest of the story. So after this death happens, someone, I don't know who that is, covered the body up with a blanket, and that body sat in this apartment for over a year. And so after this incident, instead of the mom, Gloria, protecting the kids, Brian and Gloria move out and leave Jordan, Trevon, and Javion in this apartment to fend for themselves and to take care of themselves. So if it wasn't for Jordan Lee one day picking up the phone to call 911, because I guess he really felt like they were abandoned and they needed help. So the police come and they allegedly find just like unhealthy conditions, not a lot of food, apartment basically empty, but this body of Kendrick Lee rotting there. And so everybody's like, where's the mom? And she's living, I think it said 25 minutes away with her boyfriend in a whole nother place. And when they asked her, did she abandon her kids, she basically was saying that she checked on them every 2 weeks. And keep in mind, what I was reading is that these children are special needs children. And so my question when I was listening to this story was so bizarre. I'm like, how can a body lay in a house for almost a year, no smell, and no one say anything, and the neighbors didn't smell it or anything? That's one question. But then number two is like, where is the rest of the family? Did anybody miss these children? Did anybody inquire about the welfare and the health of these children? And then number three, what about the school? Were these children ever attending school to where a school would call to see if the children were okay, or were they attending school? So those are the big questions that I have. What are your thoughts on this story? And so a little bit more about this detail. These are not the only kids that the mom had. She had a total of 6 kids. A grandmother took 2 kids away, a 13-year-old and then a 17-year-old who was living in the house, witnessed the abuse that her siblings were getting, and when she tried to step in, mom threw her out of the house. So mom was not protecting these children at all. And so so that grandmother, her name is Melody Robinson, she made the comment that Gloria was never stable. She was never a stable person. So maybe there's some mental health issue things going on there. But I think there's a lot of domestic violence, and this month just happens to be National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And see, this scenario is a little different than what we're used to. We're used to seeing a husband and wife in a domestic violence situation, and it could be, we don't know all the details, but in this scenario that we do know is that Brian was abusing these children, so these children are in a domestic violence situation. And if you find yourself in a domestic violence situation, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that number is 1-800-799-7233 or 1-800-799-SAFE, S-A-F-E. And what an abuser usually does is isolate and control the family so that nobody else knows what's going on, so they can do whatever they want to the children. And I'm thinking this happened, I don't want to put blame on the family or the other relatives because they may not have a clue of what was going on. Another grandmother did say, Linda Smith, age 71, says she wished she would have taken Javion or adopted him. So that lets me know that somebody thought that there was something going on that shouldn't have been going on. This is just a tragic case of abandonment and abuse. And the poor thing is that the children had to suffer from this, and nobody knew what was going on. Thank God, Jordan, I'm so proud of you that you called the police and got the help that you need, that you and your siblings are safe. What are your thoughts here? The timeline of this story just doesn't make sense to me. The lack of welfare checking on these children doesn't make sense to me. What are your thoughts? Let me know, and I'm out. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.